Gabrielle, are you there? I heard the news from Rick you're moving abroad with your husband with him, being stationed away from work.
Hey, Barbara. Yep, you heard right. How is Rick taking the news? I'm sure you know this being married to him and all, but my brother's never been good with surprises. He suddenly stopped responding to my messages when I told him I wanted him to look out for our mom while I was gone.
I see. I'm not that surprised. I'm sure you know this better than anyone, but he's never particularly been the kind of guy to go out of his way to do things for others. He hasn't done anything for your mom up until now, so the idea of him suddenly having all that responsibility foisted on him at a moment's notice probably rubbed him up the wrong way.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm not gonna pretend I expected much from him, but I didn't think he'd just outright ignore me like this. He doesn't seem to have any intention of helping out at all. He almost never shows his face at the family home. Oh, what am I saying? Sorry, Barbara, I know it's not fair of me to go bad-mouthing your husband like this.
Don't be silly. I love Rick, but I know exactly what you mean. Speaking frankly, just between you and me, I've always wished he would show more of an interest in his family. It would have been nice to see more of a reaction when he found out his little sister would be moving abroad. Actually, any reaction at all would have been nice. I mean, who even knows when you'll be back? I so wish he'd do more for your mom too. She raised you guys, for crying out loud. The least he could do is make more of an effort with her while you're away. Besides, it's not like you're asking him to move in and be her live-in carer or anything, right?
Right, of course not. Our mom lives alone, and her mobility isn't what it used to be, but she can still more or less look after herself. All I wanted was for him to show his face at the house once a week to check up on how she's doing. I made that clear, but he left me on red.
But Gabby, let's be real here. Your brother's never really been the type to look out for other people, has he? You're probably better off just giving up. I sometimes feel like the only thing he actually cares about is the casino. He rushes down there like a man possessed on every single one of his days off.
He's still gambling? I told him he had to stop that back when he got himself into debt. Oh, Barbara, I'm so sorry.
It's fine, sweetie. You have nothing to apologize for. He promised me he'd only do it in moderation this time, and borrowing money is strictly prohibited.
I see. I guess it's not that bad then. At least, not as bad as before. But in that case, it seems unlikely I'm going to be able to trust him to look after our mom while I'm gone.
Right, agreed. At the very least, she's fine getting around the house and cooking for herself, isn't she? But you've been taking her out for her hospital appointments and to buy groceries in your car for a long time, right? I understand she's going to struggle without you, but at the same time, that's a huge amount of responsibility for us to take on all of a sudden. Besides, she doesn't exactly live close by. The cost of living is skyrocketing right now, not to mention how much a tank of gasoline costs these days.
Barbara, I hope you don't think I expect you guys to do this for free. Of course, I planned on giving Rick the money to cover everything he and my mom would need to look after her.
Oh, really? You did?
Yes, there's no way I'd let you guys cover the burden. I'm the one asking for the favor here after all. Plus, I know what Rick's like. He's never had much of a part in Mom's life since moving out, so I didn't expect him to take all this on out of the goodness of his heart at a moment's notice. But you're right, it is a lot to ask of you, and I totally understand if you can't or don't want to. Don't worry, I'll think of another way. There are all sorts of companies offering services to help and support elderly people living on their own these days. It shouldn't be too hard to find something.
No, hold on a second, Pumpkin. Let me try speaking to Rick one last time. I'll see if I can get some sense into that thick skull of his.
Wow, really? You do that? Oh, are you sure?
To tell you the truth, Gabby, I've always felt a little guilty seeing you do so much for your mom while your brother just carried on going about his life like she didn't exist. He's her eldest son, and I'm his wife. I feel a sense of duty to his family, and I want to help.
Oh, thanks a bunch, Barbara. And I'm sorry. It was never my intention to inconvenience you like this. I'm sure you're super busy, and this is the last thing you need.
On the contrary, don't you think this could be the perfect opportunity? Your mom's so lovely, she'd do anything for you and your brother. And in actual fact, I've lost count on how many pinches she's gotten him out of by this point. If anyone's been an inconvenience, it's Rick. If you ask me, he owes her a debt of gratitude, and it's only right that he repays it.
Well, yeah, I can't say I disagree. In fact, I'm with you 100%. But if he has no intention of doing it of his own volition, I can't deny the idea of you convincing him to do it against his will is also a little worrying.
Don't worry, I can be very persuasive when I want to be. Besides, I'll be there to help him support your mom every step of the way. Leave the rest to me, okay, Pumpkin?
Okay, I will. Sorry again, Barbara. I owe you big time for this one. I'm counting on you to convince my brother to do the right thing.
Hey Gabby, not long now. You're flying off to Thailand tomorrow, right? I bet you can barely contain yourself. It's a beautiful country, but I hear certain parts can be dangerous, so make sure you be careful over there, okay, Pumpkin?
Hey, Barbara! Thanks a lot for the well wishes. Yeah, you betcha, I'm stoked. I appreciate the heads up. Thankfully, my husband's company apartment is in a really good neighborhood. We've always been our cautious types, so we were relieved when we found out. We'll make sure not to go wandering off into the dangerous spots or getting involved with any shady characters. Oh, and thanks again for everything with Mom. You guys are the best.
Don't mention it, sweetie. It's so good of you to cover all the costs for us. Your mom's in good hands, so you don't have to worry about one bit. Just focus on enjoying your time abroad, okay? Even if Rick's having a lazy slob day, I'll drive over on my own to make sure she's comfortable and has everything she needs.
Sorry again to trouble you like this. Ideally, me and my husband would have brought her to Thailand with us. But the prospect of shocking her like that by jetting her off to live in a foreign country at her age, as frail as she is, just made me too uncomfortable.
No kidding, she probably just wants to live out her days in peace and quiet. You're right, I think that kind of upheaval would be really hard on her, not to mention her hospital appointments. I appreciate the sentiment, but taking her with you would be unrealistic on so many levels. On top of it all, there'd be the language barrier, the climate, having to meet new friends. She'd basically be starting life over from scratch. I feel sorry for her just thinking about it.
I plan on checking out a few of the nearby hospitals and finding out whether she'd be able to continue her treatment in Thailand, just in case for some reason it came to that. I don't know how feasible it would be, but it doesn't hurt to know. You never know what kind of curveball life's gonna throw at you, you know?
I admire your selflessness, Gabby. I truly do. But don't overdo it, okay? You're a human being with limits, just like the rest of us. It's your first time living abroad too, you know? You'll be starting over from scratch yourself. What's family for, if not looking out for one another? You've done your fair share of looking out for us, so now it's our turn. Me and Rick are officially taking responsibility for operations here in the States, and we're banning you from worrying about us or your mom until you're used to your new life in Thailand.
Okay, got it. You're right. Thanks so much, Barbara. We couldn't have done this without you. We'll have a time zone gap to contend with while we're there, but don't hesitate to get in touch if you need any advice or if anything's bothering you, no matter how small.
Roger that. Oh, before you go, I almost forgot about the money. Bank transfer, right? Would you mind sending it to my account?
Your bank account? Okay, no problem.
If Rick gets his hands on it, there's a chance he might run off to the casino and blow it all on the slots. The last thing we want is your mom's money vanishing into thin air. You'd probably have more peace of mind with me looking after it.
I hadn't thought about it, but actually you're right. I can only apologize eternally for how my brother is.
It's fine, I'm used to it now. I knew what I was getting myself into when I married him. Hope you have a safe flight, sweetie. Be careful over there and have fun.
All right, I'm going. See you on the other side. Good evening, Barbara. You there? Is now a good time?
I'm here. Sure, what's up, honey? Everything okay? Did something happen?
Oh, I've just been thinking about my mom and wanted to check up on her, see how she's doing. When I called just now, she seemed kind of not well. Her voice was weak. It was like she had no energy at all.
Huh? Really?
How does she seem to you?
I thought she was fine when I last went over, no different to her usual self. I wonder if she's putting on a bold front when I'm there so as not to worry me? Come to think of it, she's so thoughtful and conscientious. That's just the kind of thing she'd do. I'm not her real daughter after all. She probably feels guilty having me go out of my way to look after her.
Oh, no, it's not that. She was telling me about all the things you were doing for her and how happy she was to have you around helping her just the other week. She's so grateful. She said she'll never forgive what you've done for her.
Wow, she said that about me? I'm so happy to hear that, but as far as I could tell, she just seemed her normal self. Not exactly bursting with energy, but not particularly weak either, just normal.
I see.
Did your mom say anything?
It's not so much what she said, it was just kind of tension. Or a frail tiredness in her voice. She said she's doing just fine.
I see. I don't know whether I'll be much help, but I could go over to her house again tomorrow morning to check up on how she's doing.
Oh, would you really?
Of course, you're worried about her, right? Okay, it's settled. I'll drive over first thing in the morning for a check-in.
I'm so sorry to trouble you again, Barbara. I know it takes you over an hour to get there in the car. Of course, I'll cover any extra costs. My mom's the type to endure things in silence or overdo it on her own because she hates the idea of being a nuisance to others. So if her health is really deteriorating, I think there's a chance she might be hiding it.
If that's the case, I can't guarantee I'll be able to get to the bottom of it, but I'll at least head over and do my best.
That's fine, I understand. Her and Rick might be completely different, but one thing they do share is that they can both be stubborn as mules in their own ways. Thanks so much, Barbara. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Oh, stop it, silly. You're making me blush. It was me and Rick who agreed to look after her in the first place. This is the least I can do.
I was so shocked when I heard Rick was getting married. But that shock turned into relief when I found out how kind you are. He's lucky to have you by his side. If my brother ever causes you any problems, don't hesitate to get in touch, okay? I'll always be here to talk. I know what he's like, and I'm sure there are times when you consider strangling him.
Don't worry, I can read him like a book, and I have a knack for putting him in his place. When he tries getting up to his old tricks, I have a feeling he's mellowing out. I don't think he has the nerve to challenge me like he used to.
Wow, seriously? I'm surprised to hear that. It looks like my brother's in good hands then. Not to mention what you're doing for Mom. Words can't describe how grateful I am for you, Barbara. Oh, did you want something from Thailand? If you do, just say the word and I'll send it over. Don't hold back, you can have anything you want.
Wow, really? Well, actually, now that you mention it, I've been getting really interested in fashion and cosmetics lately. If it's no trouble, would you mind sending me over some Thai beauty products? I'll be so excited to see what they have over there.
Got it. I'll send you a parcel full of their most popular brands. If there's anything specific you got your eye on, just give me the name and it's yours.
Thank you. Okay, I'll do some research and get back to you. I'll let you know how your mom's doing after I check in tomorrow morning.
Okay, speak to you tomorrow.
Hey Gabby, there's something I need to talk to you about. Is now a good time?
Sure, I'm just chilling at home. It's my day off today. What's up?
Listen, it's about the money.
Oh, no. Did my gambling-addicted brother get his hands on it somehow?
No, it's not that. Can you send me more money to look after your mom?
Huh? What? But I'm already sending you $1,000 a month, which includes money for her medical bills. Are you saying that's not enough?
Listen, Pumpkin, I didn't tell you this, but the thing is, your mom, she's been really selfish with me lately. The day before yesterday, she suddenly demanded that I go grab her a takeout from a top-of-the-range 5-star hamburger restaurant. She demands nothing but ultra-high-class luxury cuisine all the time, and we just can't keep up with it financially.
That's funny. My mom's been living with me and my husband since last week. Who the hell is asking you for luxury hamburgers?
Huh? Your mom's living with you in Thailand?
Yep.
What are you talking about? You're on the other side of the world. How's that even possible?
A few days after we last spoke about me being worried about how my mom sounded on the phone, she sent me a message begging me to help her.
What?
When I called her, she told me you and my brother had been stealing all of her money. She broke down in tears as she told me how you'd been abusing her and stealing things from the house.
Ridiculous! I've never heard such a load of nonsense in my life. You're joking, right?
Believe me, I wish I was joking. I'm so disgusted with you, Barbara. To think I trusted you.
Gabby, no! You've got all this wrong, I swear! I was looking after her probably at first, just like you asked. I did my best, I really did, but it turns out me and your mother just don't get along very well. You wouldn't believe how horrible she was to me. You'd think I was a piece of dirt on her shoe rather than her son's wife.
You mean my frail, aged mother who wouldn't hurt a fly and would sooner suffer in silence than cause inconvenience to others? Is this the same person we're talking about?
Maybe she's like that with you because you're her real daughter, but with me, she's cruel, malicious, and abusive. It's like there's this big black storm cloud of dread hanging over me every time on the drive over. I'm afraid to see her now. Rick saw how she was treating me and couldn't bear it, so he lost his temper with her. She's probably angry that your brother actually had the courage to stand up to her. So she put on the frail old lady act and called you in tears to try and turn you against us. I mean, come on, ask yourself. Is there any proof that we've been doing any of the things she says we have?
I thought you might ask me that, which is why I made sure to get hold of some. To answer your question, yes, there is proof. Mountains of it.
Huh?
After we spoke on the phone, I told her to start recording your visits in secret. Lo and behold, the very first one showed you rummaging through her cabinets for money. Then, as if that wasn't reprehensible enough, you upped the ante and started hitting her, threatening to do it harder if she didn't hand over her checkbook and give you her signature. I was so furious, I felt like throwing up when I watched the video. You are one wicked, disturbed individual, Barbara.
But that's only one side of the story. Your mom did the same things to me first. Of course you won't know about that because I don't have a video. You only saw the video she wanted you to see. Your mom's wicked and disturbed too.
You can drop the act already. My brother already admitted it, that you stole my mom's money.
No way! He wouldn't do that. We're innocent. Why would he admit to something we didn't do?
It's just like you said. Rick doesn't have the nerve to challenge you. That's why my mom settled all his debts for him after he told her they were from him getting in over his head at the casino. But they weren't, were they? They were yours. He told me everything about how you forced him to do everything with violence and threats of more violence on top of it. Now, I'm not gonna go making excuses for my brother because he did stand by and watch it all happen, but in a sense, he's a victim in all this too.
Gabby, I can't get through to Rick. What's going on? He's not answering my calls. Do you know anything about this?
My brother's staying in a facility for male victims of domestic abuse to escape your sickening reign of terror. Oh yeah, he went in today. That's probably why he's unreachable. Something tells me he won't be coming home to see you again.
He's staying where? But what the hell am I supposed to do now? What about me?
What about you? Well, I don't know about my brother, but I'm pressing charges against you for laying hands on our mom. I have mountains of evidence. The video I mentioned earlier is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm currently in the process of hiring a lawyer.
No, Gabby, wait, please, don't! You can't take me to court, we're family. Surely we should just be able to talk this out like adults instead of blowing it up into some big legal drama. This isn't a TV show, don't be so horrible.
The only horrible person here is you. You subjected my mom and brother to unimaginable suffering with your wicked campaign of abuse. And mark my words, you will pay dearly. You have the nerve to say I'm horrible for standing up to you? Cut the crap. One more thing, me and you are not family.
I'm so sorry. I've never intended to hit your mom like that. Things just got out of control and, well, it kind of just happened. It's just, well, I was in trouble financially. I was desperate. I didn't know what to do or who to turn to. I asked your mom if she could help me out a little. Not much, you know, just enough to keep me afloat, but she refused.
So you hit her. Not only is your alleged reason the most selfish thing I've ever heard, but even if she did refuse to give you the money, that doesn't give you the right to hit her. Who the hell do you think you are?
Gabby, I'm so sorry. This will never happen again, I swear.
Obviously it won't. That's why I had my mom flown over to live with me and my husband here in Thailand, so she wouldn't have to spend one more second in the company of a psychopath like you. Who knows what you would have done next? I shudder to think. You're sick, dangerous and unpredictable, and I feel terrible for leaving my mother in your care. That's why I waited until she was safely in my care to get started with the court proceedings.
I'm begging you, please, don't take me to court. Anything but court. What do I have to do to change your mind? You're right, I'm all the things you say. I acted wrongly, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Do you seriously think I can forgive someone who physically abused, exploited, manipulated, and stole money from my elderly mother? You must actually be insane.
I understand you're upset, but please, I'm on my last chance.
Huh? Your last chance?
Listen, I never told you this, but I'm already on a suspended sentence right now, so please reconsider. If I get in trouble again, they'll throw me in jail. I'm begging you here, please, I'm desperate. I've already lost my husband. Would you really see me lose my freedom as well?
Yes, I would. Gladly. In fact, I'd love nothing more. I mean, please, are you seriously trying to play the victim in all this? I hope they find you a good psychiatrist in prison because you need help. You're the one in the wrong here, and you only have yourself to blame.
Please forgive me, I'm begging you. I'll do anything, anything. Gabby, please.
If you'll do anything, why don't you head over to the police station right now and tell them exactly what you did? And let me make this clear. Neither me nor my brother have any intention of forgiving you. Not now, not ever. Thanks for telling me you're on a suspended sentence, though. I have a feeling that info's gonna come in really handy when we meet the judge. I'll see to it that you pay for the pain and suffering you caused my family if it's the last thing I do. My sister-in-law was rearrested after admitting to committing acts of violence against my elderly mother. It turns out that she'd been domestically abusing my brother since long before that, hitting him with such force there were even times where she broke bones. I found out during the court case that one of the neighbors had heard the commotion and called the police, and she was arrested after being caught in the act. Me and my mom never had a clue. Eventually, my brother finally came clean about everything. He said Barbara had been irresponsible with money ever since they started dating, was quick to anger, and became violent at the slightest hint of trouble. He considered breaking up with her on several occasions, but he was so afraid of her that he didn't dare broach the subject, and he was essentially forced into a marriage with a controlling psychopath he was terrified of. I'm not sure I'll ever forgive him for standing by and doing nothing as his psychotic wife abused my mom. But I do understand that he was petrified of standing up to her, afraid of how she might retaliate. There's no doubt about it. He spent years of his life in abject terror. Besides, I have to be honest too. I'm the one who left my mom in her care in the first place, so some of the responsibility lies with me. I'm filled with regret when I think about how if I'd never asked Barbara to look after my mom, none of this would have ever happened. My mom, on the other hand, is framing this whole thing in a positive light. She said that if this didn't happen, my brother might still be living in quiet desperation as her helpless victim. I don't think I'll ever forgive my ex-sister-in-law for what she did. But I do hope she uses her time in prison to think about her actions, and at the very least shows us enough respect to stay out of our lives forever when she's released. Ever since this whole dramatic episode, me and my husband have been living with my mom in peace and quiet out in the picturesque Thai countryside. Luckily, I managed to find a hospital that could provide the same treatment as she'd been getting in the States, so she managed to adapt to her new life more or less without issue. I don't know if it's due to the climate here, but to my surprise, she's been more lively and energetic than I've seen her in decades since moving over. Naturally, my brother divorced his deranged tyrant of a wife, and now he's living in another state, as far away from her as possible. Rick apologized to me after the court case, and lately we've been doing regular video calls to update each other on how we're doing. With his ex-wife out of the picture, we're closer than we've ever been. He doesn't talk about her much, but I have a feeling the reason he became distant after they got married might have been his way of protecting us from her. I know I'll never know for sure, but That's what I want to believe. With she who shall not be named finally locked away where she belongs, me and my family can finally start making up for lost time. Let the good times roll.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Deep text.
Martin, how are you feeling?
Not bad, but not particularly great either.
I'm so sorry about what my mom did. I know it's not something that'll go away with an apology, and I doubt you'll ever forgive her. But I promise you, she didn't do it on purpose. So, about the compensation, would you mind maybe rethink?
She didn't do it on purpose, so don't take her to court for compensation. That's what you're about to ask, isn't it?
I mean, it's not exactly like that, but she doesn't have insurance. Look, I'm just gonna be straight with you. She's simply not sure if she can come up with the amount of money you're asking for. It's a lot, Martin.
I'm fully aware of how much it is. But your mom ran over me and now I'm in a wheelchair! Do you understand that? It's like all you can think about is the consequences on your end. No amount of money could ever make up for this. The nerves in my spine and legs are so damaged that they said it'll be a miracle if I ever walk again. Which means I'm not going to be able to continue in the same line of work. My life's been flipped upside down. And you still have the nerve to ask me to not press your mom for money?
I'm sorry, Martin. I'm so sorry. But my mom didn't do it on purpose, I swear.
Duh! If she did, she'd be in prison. Don't get me wrong. I'd be way more satisfied seeing her behind bars. But even if it wasn't on purpose, the result is the same.
Please don't say things like that.
Believe me, Selena, this is me holding back. Let's face it, your mom always hated me.
What? I don't know anything about that.
Oh, you don't? So did you forget about all the times she poked fun at me for being ugly? Or how she said she hates my personality? Or her endless making fun of me for supposedly being infertile? You have no idea how long I've been holding my tongue around that woman. And the only reason I did was for you. But there are some things that can't be overlooked. I'm drawing the line here. She won't get away with this.
But she's super broken up about it too, Martin. She feels terrible and she's really sorry.
If she was that sorry, she could have at least come to see me in the hospital. Not only that, she hasn't even apologized yet. How sorry can she be? It's pretty obvious she has no intention of apologizing. She probably doesn't even care.
Martin, she probably just finds it difficult to talk to you. She's never been one to discuss her emotions, and she always becomes so withdrawn when she's stressed out. I bet she just doesn't know the right way to apologize. She wants to, I just know it. She must be so ridden with guilt that she can't even bring herself to face you.
Whether it's difficult to say it or not, or whether she can't bring herself to face me or not, I can't walk anymore because of her. If she can't do the right thing now, then she never will. Surely the least she could do is give me an apology. Isn't that what any normal person would do in the situation?
You're right. Look, I can't deny anything you're saying, Martin. It's all true. But my mom is so depressed. I've never seen her like this. I think she knows she did something unforgivable and it's eating her up.
Even so.
But please, listen to me. She spoke to me earlier today. She said she wants to be the one who picks you up when you get discharged from the hospital. If you give her the chance and let her meet you, she'll apologize. I just know it.
She's finally ready to see me? On the day of my discharge? She can stick a ride home where the sun doesn't shine. If you're not going to be the one there waiting for me when I get out, I'll take a taxi home.
But Mom said she really wants to go. She practically insisted.
Have you lost your mind? Why would I want to ride home from the person that ran me over?
Please, please just give her one chance to apologize to you. I know it took her longer than it should have, but she's finally ready to meet you. At least hear her out. She's desperate to apologize. I just know it. Why else would she want to be the one to give you a ride home?
Ugh. Fine. She can pick me up. But make no mistake, this doesn't mean I forgive her. It just means I'm letting her pick me up. Nothing more, nothing less.
Thank you, Martin. That's totally fine. That's all I'm asking, really.
What the heck do you think you're playing at? Leaving me on the top of a mountain like that? If by any chance, did you abandon me there on purpose? Excuse me?
Well, I never. You actually had a phone signal from up there. Modern technology never ceases to amaze me.
This doesn't make any sense. What are you doing? Why did you leave me up here? You drive me out in the middle of nowhere to the top of some random-ass mountain, lift me out of the passenger seat and put me down in the grass and drive away? I can't walk, damn it! What are you thinking? It's December right now. Do you have any idea how cold it was up there? It was snowing, for crying out loud.
I don't see what the problem is if you're well enough to be messaging me.
Just because by some miracle I was able to get a signal doesn't mean that what you did was okay. If I had no signal, there was a chance I might have died. How could you lead me to a place like that? Do you have any idea how much danger I was in?
But you're alive, aren't you? So quit your whining already. You must have phoned a taxi, right? And I bet you're all warm and snug at home now, right? All's well that ends well.
That's not the point.
Enough of your rambling. I have some news for you. Selena won't be coming home again.
Huh?
I'm seeing to it that she divorces you and marries someone else.
I see. And why exactly are you doing that? Is it because I'm a cripple? What use am I if I can't walk after all? Or perhaps it's because I'm infertile.
Take your pick. Not only does her new man make more money than you, but he's also better looking. He could have been a model if he wasn't such a successful businessman. What's more, he already has a son with his ex-wife, so that proves he's capable of having kids. He ticks all the boxes. All of his male functions are in order, if you catch my drift. Unlike someone we know.
So is this why Selena hasn't been answering my texts or calls? Is this what she wants? Or are you just forcing her?
You can message her all you like, but you're wasting your time. I told her to switch her phone off and keep it off, so good luck. I also told her to relax, put her feet up, and leave all of the divorce proceedings to me.
I see.
I wonder why your wife didn't show up to see you today. Today of all days. The day you, her husband, got out of the hospital after recovering from the accident that left you unable to walk. Can you think of anything a stay-at-home housewife could possibly have to do that would be more important than being reunited with you? Oh, I wonder.
She told me it's something you wanted to tell me? I assume she didn't come because she wanted to let us talk in private. Are you saying that's not the reason?
Obviously not. Are you stupid? Don't answer, that was rhetorical. Oh, Martin, I can't believe I'm finally going to have a grandchild. I can't tell you how relieved I am. You losing the use of your legs was the straw that broke the camel's back for that girl. I'm telling you, her mind's well and truly made up now.
I can't use my legs anymore because of you! You!
Ugh, don't say such horrible things. It was an accident, plain and simple. As far as the accident goes, I'm sorry.
It's actually impressive how casually you're able to say things you don't mean at all. Accident or not, it's your fault this happened. If not for you, I wouldn't be in this wheelchair, and I'd still be able to walk.
Good grief, do you ever stop whining? Put a lid on it, no legs. It was bad enough when you were just infertile, but now you're crippled too? You're literally useless. Oh well, what do I care? Selena's marrying a hunk with the real deal in between his legs and the history to prove it. The worries you've caused us are a thing of the past now.
Have you ever heard of female infertility? I'll have you know, there's nothing wrong with my little guys. They're great swimmers.
Huh?
I can't take any more of your crap. It's time you knew the truth. It's not me who's infertile. Selena is the one incapable of having kids.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? Is this some kind of coping mechanism? Whatever. If it makes your tragic little existence slightly more bearable, then who am I to stop you?
A coping mechanism? I'm just relaying the results of a fertility check, you delusional toad. My boys are as potent as they come. I'd have been happy with just a normal result. But it turns out, I actually have a higher than average sperm count. I've practically got my own little tadpole army. You can look at the medical certificate if you don't believe me. I've been getting tested fairly regularly since way back.
Oh my god. Is this true? My Selena is infertile? No, it can't be.
It is.
But why? Why did you let me say those things all this time? Why didn't you set me straight if you knew all along?
Isn't it obvious? I had to protect Selena from you. Because I know how horrible you'd be to her if you knew she couldn't have kids. I had no problem with you believing I was infertile while she underwent therapy. That was the price to pay for keeping her safe from you, and so be it. I loved her more than anything, and there's nothing I wouldn't have done to protect her. Honestly, it was a no-brainer. Far from being bothered by a toxic loser like you thinking poorly of me, I wore it as a badge of honor. I've had it now, though. Here's another one for you, too. I've known she'd cheat on me for a long time now.
Huh?
I hired a private investigator. Her behavior got so suspicious that the signs were too strong to ignore. Funnily enough, it was her lover who gave the game away in the end, though.
What? You've known for a while now. But I still haven't even met her new fiancé. Surely I'd know about this.
Interesting. Wait, does this mean that she has a third guy on the go? She's been a busy girl, if so. You know what, though? What difference does it make? I don't even want to know. God, she's disgusting. You both make me sick.
Wait, please, none of this makes any sense. I just don't understand.
Nah, I've had enough for one lifetime. We can continue this in court, through our lawyers. Mark my words. You're gonna owe me so much in compensation, you'll wish it was you who got hit by the car. Prepare yourself.
Wait, no, please! This doesn't add up with what Selena told me. She said I wouldn't have to pay you anything.
What planet do you live on? Are there actually people as delusional as you on this planet? I can't walk because of you! You know what? I feel like an idiot now. But I did actually intend on reconsidering taking you to court based on the sincerity of your apology today. I wouldn't have guessed you'd abandon me on top of a mountain in the middle of winter in my wildest dreams! Rest assured, I'll be telling my lawyer all about today's shenanigans too. You made this 10 times worse for yourself. I have to deal with your treacherous witch of a daughter now. So if you'll excuse me, goodbye.
Martin, are you okay?
I have nothing to say to you. You can go through my lawyer from now on. That's all.
Please, I need your help. It's Mom. She's being so horrible to me. And she won't stop. Every single day, the verbal abuse never ends.
You're a failure of a human being. What good are you with that barren wasteland of a womb? You'll never fulfill your duties as a woman. I'm ashamed to call you my daughter.
Not my problem. You're getting everything you deserve for cheating on me. I'm infertile, so he'll never find out. God, you make me sick. And you did it in my car. Of all places! I almost threw up watching the dashcam footage. You should probably try and avoid being covered in the smell of your lover's aftershave when you cheat on your next husband. You'll get away with it longer that way.
I'm sorry. Look, my new fiancé broke up with me.
Yeah, I heard about that. He actually had the decency to get rid of you when he found out you were married. Can't say you don't deserve it, though. Oh yeah, there was something else I wanted to ask you. I wonder if you can answer this. I probably won't get another chance to ask you. Why did you cover for your mom when she caused the accident? You covered for your mother after paralyzing me, despite her blatantly being in the wrong. Then you divorced me. What exactly was your endgame? Weren't you worried about your affair getting out? Or did you decide you liked Loverboy more than me when my legs stopped working?
I knew there was no going back for us. I felt awful about it. You've always been so good to me, being there for me when I was going through hard times. You were my rock, and I felt pathetic for what I'd done to you. But I thought that if I could remarry and hide my infertility to my new husband...
You intended on repeating the same mistakes then? You're beyond saving.
Please, Martin, I know I did wrong. I said I'm sorry. You don't have to be so hard on me. I feel horrible enough as it is. Do you have any idea how much it pains me that I'll never have kids of my own? Can you even imagine what that feels like?
Incredible! Only you could claim to be the victim in all this. Give it a rest already. I'm sick of hearing you speak. Would someone in anguish over not being able to have kids really say, "I'm infertile, so he'll never find out," to the man they're cheating on their husband with?
Ugh, what is it with you? Seriously, have you no compassion? I used up all my dad's inheritance money. I have no job, and to top it all off, I'm in tons of debt. Martin, we're both at rock bottom here.
Maybe if you weren't taking out loans and getting wasted all the time, you'd still have some of your own money left. You've only yourself to blame.
Please, I feel like I'm losing it here, Martin. I feel like I've always been a slave to my mom. I want out.
You made your bed, now lie in it. We discussed cutting off ties with your mother when me and you got married, all those years ago. Remember?
Martin, please. Let's make another go of it, please? Can I have one more chance? Will you protect me one more time? I'll do anything, I mean it. And I'll never betray you again, I promise.
Whether you could have kids or not, I've always said I'd be happy as long as I had you. I meant it. I really did. I loved you more than anything, Selena. Whether your mom abused me till she ran out of words to abuse me with, whether it meant struggling financially, I loved you too much to care about any of it.
I know that. I've always been so grateful for you. Can't we go back to being like that, just me and you? I used to be your sugar dumpling, and you my honey pie.
Ugh! It's not happening in a million years, so just give it up. I've lost everything. My legs, my family. I was stabbed in the back by the person I love the most in the world. The one who needs protecting here is me. From you.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll look after you from now on. I'll care for you at home. I'll help you with the rehab. Just let me in, please.
I'd rather not. I don't need your apologies either.
I mean it. I'll never betray you again. You're the only reason I have to carry on living, Martin. Let's give it one more shot. Me and you. We can be a team again, just like old times.
Gross. You tossed your disabled husband aside to be with your lover. We're not having this conversation because he broke up with you. Not to mention your abusive health and safety hazards of a mother. What guy in their right mind would marry someone like you twice? I'd rather live alone in the wilderness, on the mountain she abandoned me on. After finalizing divorce proceedings and receiving a tidy sum in compensation from the cheating backstabber and her wicked mother, I embarked on my new life by putting my house up for sale, and I'm currently planning my next move while I wait for a buyer. I heard that Selena got institutionalized with severe mental illness over what happened with me. Like I said before, not my problem. I don't wish her ill. But anything that ever was between us is no more, and will never be again. I wasn't able to press charges on her ex-mother-in-law over paralyzing me in the accident, but I was so livid over the whole abandoned on a snowy mountain in the middle of winter trick she pulled that I filed a police report immediately. Apparently, she's going through several rounds of rigorous questioning at the police station, and according to my lawyer, things don't look great for her. I'm sure from her perspective, it was her way of twisting the knife in after paralyzing me and saying goodbye in the most malicious, black-hearted way possible. But as well as becoming notorious among the neighbors for having paralyzed someone through her careless driving, she gained quite the reputation as the crazy old hag who dumps people she doesn't like on the top of mountains. I wasn't able to use my legs at all at first, but after going to the rehab sessions like my life depended on it, I'm now able to take baby steps while grabbing onto railings. It's not much, but more than doctors ever hoped for. I may never be able to walk as well as I used to, but medical technology is advancing leaps and bounds these days. And I've always believed you should never give up hope. So nothing's gonna stop me from giving rehab my all. Thankfully, my company was very understanding and reinstated me from my usual position to office work. Now, I'm leading a stress-free life, doing things I enjoy. They say every cloud has a silver lining, and between the compensation and my savings, I'm in the fortunate position of having a lot of money stashed away. I'm thinking of starting my own company. In any case, I can't tell you how great it feels to not be plagued with so many worries anymore. In a sense, this is the best revenge I could have ever hoped for.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hello there, Michaela. Have you finished rearranging the furniture in my room yet? Hi, Bernice. Yep, all done. I moved the bed and chest of drawers. Oh no, you moved them already? Forgive me, but you'll have to move them back. Huh? I changed my mind. I decided I liked everything just the way it was. Sorry to trouble you like this, dear. I know you went out of your way to move them for me, but the more I think about it, the more I realized I like the old setup. I wish I could do it myself, but there's no way a fragile old dear like me is capable of moving heavy furniture around. Okay, understood. I'll move them back. Oh, there was one more thing. Could you sort through all those cardboard boxes from when we moved in? They've been sat in the corner gathering cobwebs for ages now. It really is time someone did something about them. You don't mind if I open your things? I'm happy to help you out, but I can't promise everything will end up where you want it. It's fine. I just want you to get everything tidied up ASAP. If you put anything in the wrong place, I'll just have you move it again afterwards. I see. It's such a shame to have them sitting around in my brand new house like that. They're such an eyesore. Oh, that mountain of dusty cardboard boxes in your room looks simply fantastic. They really set the mood. Said no one ever. You're such a big help, Michaela, darling. I'm so thankful we have someone with so much free time on their hands living with us. Bernice, about that. I'm pretty sure I told you this when I moved in with you, but I have a job. I know that, but you work from home, right? It seems more like a casual side job type of thing to me. Anyways, what's your point? It's not a casual side job at all. I'm a full-time employee, and my contract is just as valid as someone who goes into the office 40 hours a week. I just happen to work from home. Oh, really? That's fascinating, dear. Anyway, make sure you keep on top of your housework duties. I want this place sparkling. You don't seriously think you can make me, your mother-in-law, do everything around the house when I'm so kindly letting you live with us in our family home? Didn't you say we were gonna split the housework 50-50? I did? Oh, sorry, dear, I don't remember. Did I say that? Fred said you'd agreed to it when he explained our conditions to you. I must not have heard him. Forgive me, dear. I'm getting old, you know. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. I see. By the way, I like beef stew for supper tonight. Do you mind if I make it tomorrow instead? Why do you think I said it? I want it today, dummy. But I'm still not finished moving the furniture in your room back. And when that's done, you want me to sort through all these cardboard boxes, right? I don't think I'm gonna have time. It's a daughter-in-law's job to make time. When you married my son, you made a solemn pledge to serve this family with unwavering dedication and loyalty. I am your mother-in-law, and my word is law. It would appear your parents dropped the ball in the discipline department while you were growing up. But not to worry, we'll soon fix that. I'm going to teach you a thing or two about being a woman. So just do as I say, and we'll have you whipped up into a decent, respectable wife for my son in no time. But it's already 3 p.m., which means you have at least 3 more hours to get done with everything up there. How about you get to work instead of grumbling about your responsibilities? Chop chop, darling. Those boxes aren't going to unpack themselves. Fine. I'm counting on you. I can't wait for my beef stew. Be liberal with the carrots. I can't stop eating them lately. I think I might be turning into Bugs Bunny. Michaela, this is bad. Emergency. I repeat, emergency. Really? What is it? Where are you right now? Are you still at the supermarket? Yeah, I just arrived at the car park. I'm still in the car. The supermarket is cancelled. I repeat, cancelled. You have to drive over to the Power Crystal shop over on Peeps Avenue at once. Huh? The Power Crystal shop? What even is that, and why? My daughter's pregnant! It said on the net that the shop is famous for their pregnancy crystals. Apparently, they encourage emotional release by helping clear blocked energy in their chakras. It said when expectant mothers wear them, they promote healthy childbirth and bonding with a baby, which means you absolutely have to go and buy her some ASAP. Okay. I didn't really know that was a thing, but I guess I can go pick up some if that's what you want. And wow, that's great! Congratulations to Kaylee on the baby! Isn't it just? It's been donkey's years since we had such splendid news. Not only that, but she's already 5 months gone. Wow, 5 months? That means the baby will be born this year. Still, I can't believe she waited all this time to tell her own mother. That girl has always had a certain coldness about her. I guess everyone feels ready at different times. The early days are unpredictable. I doubt she was being cold. I bet she just didn't want to get your hopes up. She probably felt more comfortable telling you when she knew things looked certain. Things tend to stabilize a lot around the 5-month mark. I suppose it's all water under the bridge now. I'm just happy she's pregnant. I can't believe it. I'm finally going to be a grandma. It's like all my Christmases have come at once. To tell you the truth, I always thought Fred would be the first one to give me grandchildren. Unfortunately, it would appear you two have no intention of giving me what I want. We do want kids one day. We're just not ready yet, is all. Really? Could have fooled me. You've been married 3 whole years now and still not so much as hint of baby talk. I was convinced you were dead set on letting your eggs dry up. Wait a sec. Michaela, are you infertile? What? No way. I wonder. I doubt you'd even tell me if you were. So, get this. I read something very interesting online the other day. Apparently girls with a lot of notches on their bedposts find it harder to fall pregnant. Now, I know your dress sense is a little extravagant. Forgive me if this sounds rude, and this is just a hunch, but if by any chance did you go around the block a few times before you settled down with my son, I think you catch my drift. Wow, Bernice, did you seriously just ask me that? No! Oh, no, I didn't touch a nerve, did I, darling? I'm sorry, I really didn't mean anything by it. That's just the kind of girl you look like is all. There's nothing wrong with liking colorful clothes. It's okay, you don't have to try and justify yourself to me. I hope you're not upset. Anyway, ready for the gender reveal? Word is it's a boy. With Kaylee as his mom, I bet he'll be super handsome. He's bound to grow into a little heartbreaker. Aren't you even a little disappointed? This means that Kaylee's boy, and not yours, will be our family successor. Huh? Disappointed? Thought hadn't even crossed my mind. I'm really happy for her. It makes no difference to me who the successor is. Besides, what is this, the Middle Ages? Goodness me. Do you even understand the implications of what you're saying? Being the eldest son means he'll be set to inherit all of our assets. That's honestly fine by me. Putting on a brave face, Ari's here. You clearly won't admit it, but I bet it's eating you up inside. Well, I guess you're in no position to complain if you're not even trying to get pregnant. Anyway, that's enough idle chit-chat. Hurry up and come back with the shopping. I want to send Kaylee her power crystals as soon as possible. The sooner her chakras are realigned, the better. Michaela, are there any beers in the fridge? I don't think so. In that case, I want you to pick me some up. Please, Bernice, I did tell you I wasn't feeling well this morning. I'm exhausted just from walking to the bathroom. I'm resting up in bed till I feel better. What's your point? Please, can you do the shopping yourself just for today? My fever hasn't gone down at all. How bad can it be? I bet it's mild at worst. Take some fever medicine and start moving. How are you supposed to get better with no circulation? Come on, move around a little, and you'll be as right as rain before you know it. A trip to the store to pick up my beer sounds like just what you need. It's not just a fever. I'm exhausted, and I have a headache. Don't be so dramatic, dear. You're probably just imagining it. Could you ask Fred instead? My son? You want me to send my son out grocery shopping? Does he look like a woman to you? Just what on earth must you think of your husband if you think that's an acceptable way to treat him? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. I heard you even make him do housework sometimes. Why don't you make him wear a dress while you're at it? How do you sleep at night? My son works day in, day out to make sure you have everything you need, and you repay him by treating him like your errand boy maidservant? It's time you got your act together, young lady. Me and Fred agreed to split the housework because we both work full-time. Do not compare your job with what my son does. I've seen you working on your laptop in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly what it is you do, but it always looks like you're playing video games or watching movies to me. Do not take advantage of his kindness. Start treating him with more respect. Can you just give me a break for one day? Point taken loud and clear. I suppose I'll have to go and pick up the beers myself. You know what? Fine. I know firsthand what a slave driver you are now. I'm sorry. That's okay. What do I care? You'll be leaving soon. Wait, what? Leaving? My daughter will be coming to stay for a home birth. Kaylee? At the house? Oh, I can't help but worry about her. What with it being her first and all? I'd be failing in my duty as a mother if I wasn't there to support her when she needed me most. So, she's coming to stay here? Are you stupid, girl? Yes, obviously here. My house that my son had built for me. Where else would she do a home birth, dummy? I want you gone while she's here. She'd feel uncomfortable with a stranger like you hanging around. What are you talking about? The only one who'll be leaving is you. What am I talking about? What are you talking about, Missy? Are you on drugs? I know I told you to take some medicine, but I didn't say drink the whole bottle. I'm the one who had this house built, not Fred. If you're gonna try and kick me out of my own house, then you can get the hell out yourself. Stop it, dear. I'm creasing up here. How could a low-income peasant like you possibly make enough to afford to have a house like this built? I bet you have pocket change at best with that poxy little job of yours. My salary is double Fred's. I knew it. That fever must be making you delirious. Get some sleep and stop talking nonsense. Actually, wait. You need to get your things together first. I'll be handing over your office to Kaylee to use as your bedroom. I want you gone before the end of the next month. I can't wait to live with just my family again. It's going to be so refreshing not to have any unwelcome strangers hanging around for a change. Got it. By the end of the month, right? Don't worry. I'll get everything together. Michaela, what's going on? Where are you? Out for dinner. The front door won't open. My key won't fit in the lock for some reason. Hurry up and get back here. No can do. Me and Fred just arrived at the restaurant. We're gonna enjoy our meal in peace, thanks. What am I supposed to do then? Hang around out here in the yard until you two finish eating? It's fine. You don't have to wait around. In fact, it's probably best that you don't. You don't live there anymore. Excuse me? The reason the door won't open is because I had the locks changed. You won't be going inside again. Oh, and I'll call the police immediately if you do anything stupid like breaking the windows to get in. I have a camera linked to an app on my phone, so don't think I won't know. I must say, Bernice, you look a little panicked right now.
Oh my god, you're watching me? Ugh, so creepy. Wait a sec, is this because I gave you your marching orders because Kaylee's coming home?
I'd be lying if I said it didn't play a part.
You're the most wicked, malicious person I've ever met. How could you do this to me and Kaylee? This is our first child we're talking about here. Wouldn't you feel bad for her as she couldn't come back to the family home for birth?
Like I said before, it's not the family home. I had it built with my own hard-earned money. It's my name on the deed. And you only lived there because I was letting you live there.
You had it built in your name? No way, I don't believe you. You have to be lying.
You're free to think that if it makes you feel better. Me and Fred are breaking things off with you. We put all your stuff together and left it in a rental storage container. The key's in the post box, so take it and get lost.
You took all of my things? What the hell are you playing at, young lady? Is this how you're paying me for all I've done for you? How could you do this to your own mother-in-law?
That's weird. I don't remember you doing anything for me at all. To me? Sure. If we're talking things you did to me, we have the endless bullying, harassment, slave driving, and general all-around unpleasantness you subjected me to. But for me? Nope, zero, zitch, nada. We were even that keen on having you move in with us in the first place. You're the one who showed up outside of our apartment while we were having the house built and broke down in tears, begging us to let you live with us when it was finished because you were so lonely, remember?
I've been all on my own ever since my husband passed away. What do you expect? It's only right that Fred let me live with him. He's my eldest son.
We agreed to let you stay as long as you respected our rules. The problem is, you haven't respected them at all for the entire 3 months you've been here.
You really feel that way?
You left all the housework to me. You constantly bugged me with your asinine bullshit while I was working during the day and made it hard to focus on my job. You did nothing but complain about the food, despite the fact that I cooked every single meal and you never lifted a finger. It's like you thought you were staying at a hotel. You didn't stop, despite Fred warning you countless times. And if anything, you got worse.
But that's because I'm your mother-in-law. You have duties to fulfill to me as my son's wife.
No, you have a duty to respect the rules in our house. If you can't do that, then we don't want you around. It's really that simple. You were so convinced the house belonged to Fred. You invited Kaylee back for her home birth without any input from either of us. Then, as if that wasn't enough, you tried to kick me out? That was the last straw. Everyone has their limits, Bernice. And you pushed me far past mine. Something tells me you have no idea how good you had it these past 3 months. You will soon though, because the freeloading ends here.
Michaela, Fred won't answer the phone. You're together now, right? Will you tell him to pick it up?
Sorry, no can do. He just blocked your number. I'll be doing the same.
No, wait. Please, Michaela, don't you think this is a little dramatic? You can't be serious about breaking things off with me. That means we never see each other again, you know? I'm a veritable ray of sunshine. Can you imagine how gloomy your lives would be without me in it? It doesn't even bear thinking about. Right, of course you don't want that. Let's all calm down and get together to talk things through, shall we? I think we're all just misunderstanding each other here. Yes, that's it. This is all one big misunderstanding.
I can't think of anything better than life without you in it, Bernice. And ray of sunshine? Try torrential downpour? Go on. What are we misunderstood on? Neither of us have anything to say to you. You had ample opportunity to change your ways.
Fine, I admit it. I probably over-relied on you a little at times. But surely the birth of Kaylee's baby is a different matter? Why should she suffer the consequences of our squabbles? Please, will you at least let me stay at the house until the baby is born?
No way. If we let you stay, you'd hang on for dear life when it finally came to leaving. You kick and scream and it'd be one big bothersome shit show. No thanks. We can do without the drama. At least with the locks changed and your stuff in the storage, we can just call the cops if you hang around outside. Sorry, dear. I don't remember. Did I say that? I can see it coming already. Like hell, we are letting you warn your way back in.
Please, I never say those things.
But those are direct quotes. 2 of your favorite lines. Don't you remember them either? You have an awfully selective memory. I don't trust you one bit. Besides, I heard from Kaylee. She said she wanted to stay in the hospital, but you insisted she had to do a home birth. She hadn't even considered the idea before you started barking orders at her.
I thought she might change her mind if we got the place ready for her and made everything to her liking.
Charity has her eye on a maternity hospital. She says she's gonna do the birth there, which means you don't have to worry yourself with the home birth stuff anymore. And you don't need to be at our house for a second longer. Now go find yourself somewhere else to live and stop bothering us.
Michaela, I'm so sorry.
Oh?
I admit I was at fault. I treated you unfairly. Please forgive me. I'm begging you. Please let me carry on living at the house.
You still don't get it, do you, Bernice? There isn't an issue of us forgiving or not forgiving you. There is an issue of us kicking you out of the house and cutting you out of our lives for good.
Don't say such horrible things. Look, I admit it. I might have said the occasional horrible thing to you myself, but that was just my way of giving advice as someone who's been a stay-at-home housewife for 30 years. I thought I could educate you in the womanly ways, but you're obviously very independent and capable enough to get by without my help, and I see that now. I never did any of it with bad intentions. I did it because I care.
Interesting. In that case, you have an incredible talent for making people you care about feel like absolute crap.
It's the truth. Please, won't you forgive me? I acknowledge and accepted you as my son's wife in my own way. I enjoyed living with you, you know. I was really looking forward to our future together as a family.
You mean you were looking forward to your future of treating me like your slave? It's obvious you look at me with contempt. You tried forcing me to go shopping despite me going bedbound with a nasty fever. Then, you tried kicking me out of my own house so you could force your daughter to give birth in it. Call me crazy, but I'm finding it really difficult to detect any sincerity in what you're saying right now. The only reason I put up with your crap is because you're Fred's mom. If you were anyone else, you'd have been gone in a heartbeat. I feel like an idiot for tolerating you for so long.
I'm so sorry, dear. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'll never treat it like my house again, I swear. Just let me back in. I'll be the perfect guest from now on. Please just don't kick me out, anything but that.
Sorry, no can do. I thought this for a while, but I feel uncomfortable with a stranger like you hanging around. That's why I'm actually really grateful you tried kicking me out. I can't wait to live with just my family again. It's going to be so refreshing not to have any unwelcome strangers hanging around for a change. Me and Fred returned home from our meal to find a distraught Bernice rocking back and forth in a fetal position in the backyard while repeating, "It's just a nightmare. You wake up soon." To herself like a mental patient who forgot to take her meds. But when she saw her son's face, the harsh reality came crashing down on her and she broke down in a fit of hysterics and demanded we let her back inside the house. We told her countless times that wouldn't be happening and that she had to leave, but it went in one ear and out the other. By that time, mine and Fred's patience had reached its limits. We went inside the house and made sure all the doors and windows were firmly locked, leaving her out there in the yard, a crumpled, tear-stained mess. By the next morning, she was gone. We knew she wouldn't have what it took to stay the night out there, so rather than waste any more time with her, we just let the elements do their thing. She showed up at the house a few more times after that, but we never saw her again after we made it clear we'd call the cops if she didn't cut it out. Something tells me she knew I wasn't joking, and with that, her will to fight withered away. Kaylee told me she kept getting hysterical 2 a.m. phone calls from her despairing mother, whose life had now completely fallen apart. She initially felt bad for her, but eventually lost patience and gave her what for when she realized all she was calling to do was badmouth me and Fred. Apparently Kaylee had been sick and tired of her mom for a while and decided to break things off with her too. None of us have any idea where Bernice is or what she's doing now. To tell you the truth, I couldn't care less. We cut her out of our lives for a reason, and we don't regret it one bit. Even if my husband and his sister do decide to forgive her and start having some kind of relationship again someday, I most definitely will not. While the mother-in-law from hell, now nothing but a bad memory, I'm finally able to relax in my own house, and it feels great. Since we didn't see each other that often until she moved in with us, I didn't know what she was like, which is why I made the mistake of assuming she was a decent human being. Boy, was I wrong in that one. I reluctantly agreed to have her moved in with us because I felt bad for her being a lonely widow, and her breaking down in tears on me just pulled at my heartstrings even more. But now, I can say without any shadow of a doubt, it was one of the biggest mistakes of my life. That said, just knowing that I'll never see her again somehow fills my heart with a contented feeling of peace and tranquility. And for the first time in a long time, I feel optimistic about the future. It's only natural to want your husband's mom to like you, but there's no bigger exercise in fertility than trying to win the approval of someone who isn't even worthy of being in your life to begin with. I'm gonna spend the time I used to spend trying to please my overbearing mother-in-law more wisely from now on important people who deserve it.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.